it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. Today we are going to be creating the Star Ancestor card. So if you've been following along with me, you know that I have a deck called Angels and Ancestors, which I then draw inspiration from the art on the cards, and I really enjoy this deck. So I've pulled this card, and I took this card with me to the bead store and chose these beads from Taylor's Falls Bead Store based on the artwork on the card. So for the most part, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a design on the fly. So I have not made a design for this card. I've simply only chosen the beads based on the art on the card. But also, my deck came with this Angels and Ancestors guidebook and is by Kyle Gray. And we're going to read about this card because it's important to kind of know what's going on with the card prior to making the jewelry, because we want it to all be connected and flow together. So I'm going to take a little drink of my coffee and I'll read you what they have said. Okay. The Star Ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. The message. Heed the messages coming directly from your soul. What is this card about? The Star Ancestor is a term for extraterrestrial light beings who are dedicated to healing and the growth of the world. These incredible beings are divine embodiments of love who bring wisdom from a higher realm. Often people feel a sense of connectedness when they look up into the night sky and see the stars. I believe that's because they are remembering their starry connections, and those are what these cards represent. The Star Ancestor is reminding you that you have otherworldly support, and that your friends from the stars can help if you are willing to be helped. They can support you in connecting with and following your soul's deepest calling. What is the extended message? The extended message. There is a deeper purpose to your human journey. Not only were you born on purpose, you were born for a purpose. You were born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in the universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Information and inspiration that has been coming your way recently is not new information, but memories. Your feelings for being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of this aspect of your soul. You are being drawn towards a road that will not only light you up, but will also help you to light up your corner of the universe. Continue following the cosmic guidance that is coming your way. Okay, so that is the Star Ancestor card. So whoever does purchase this finished jewelry will get a copy of what the card means, and they will also receive a card with their jewelry. So that's kind of how I do this. I've been doing this for a few years now. It's really fun. So let's just get on into the designing now that we know all about the Star Ancestor, how it is very universally support from other realms, and how it's kind of like everything is connected and that type of thing. So I'm really excited about it. So first of all, when I started building this card at Taylor's Falls, I started with these beads. So these beads are blue goldstone or bluestone. And so I chose them because what else is going to go spectacularly as with the night sky? So I have those. After that, I chose this labradorite slab pendant. So this is a genuine labradorite. I'm trying to get you the flash, but I'm in kind of like dim lighting because I'm videoing. But you can see a little bit of the flash right there. So I got this lab slab. That's funny. And then I got this pewter Egyptian piece to either put onto the front here or to punch holes in. Honestly, I think it would look nice there, but I don't know that I have enough space there to punch any holes. We shall see. Regardless, I got this because, as you can see on our card, we've got the Egyptian pyramids, and from the Egyptian pyramids comes, I assume this to be knowledge from the universe, right? It's going, you got numbers, you got symbols, it's going up through the whole card. And for that, I chose these check glass beads. So it kind of has the same pattern on it. You can see that. So I got that. And then I was like, well, I think I'm pretty good. Then we had these stars and these constellations, and I thought, okay. And then look at this. This color is perfect. These are check glass stars. They have stars on them, and they're the perfect color of the sand. And so that is going to go great with those. And then I found these very oddly shaped beads. I'm actually selling these on my website as well. They're $14 a strand, which most of these are, the check glass. But these were just interesting because they're flat on one side. The facets are like flat on one side. And then you flip it and then they're not flat. It's like not round. It's not flat. It's got different facets on each side of the bead. Like it's got AB on one side. I'm like, what is happening? So I was like, well, that's the universe. What's happening? That makes sense. So these are the items that we are going to design with today in honor of our Star Ancestor card. So let's get this party started, shall we? First things first, I would really enjoy putting this on there and punching some holes through the wings. I don't know if it's going to be possible. But we shall try it. I just feel like if I do, it might not be centered. Maybe it will. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my little tiny Sharpie pen. It might work. We'll try it. If it doesn't work, then, well, I guess we'll have to try something else. So this is pewter, so we should be able to I don't know if we're going to be able to get through it with this little one. Looks like yes. Okay. I'm punching a little bit above this because that one seemed a little bit low. Okay, let's get a file. I don't want to scratch it up too much on the front, but there is some stuff we got to get rid of here. Okay, I found it. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a paintbrush that I am willing to sacrifice. Maybe one that's not in the best of shape. And I'm going to put a little glue down here. So if you've never worked with E6000 before, it is an industrial strength glue. They use it in jewelry making a lot, along with some other things. But basically, it works really well on metal. And I'm not going to do her head because that's going to be sticking above the pendant. So I'm also not covering up my holes with the E6000. I'm just going to go ahead and trash that because it doesn't matter now anyways. Alright. So now, here's the tricky part. We got to get this lined up with the glue on it and the holes. Wanted it to go up a little further, but quite honestly, I don't think that it's going to. So I'm going to grab some clamps. Oh, I have some clamps right here. So she can't move around on us. Yeah, calm down. Little clamps. Okay. So, we'll see if that works out. May have to just kind of work around this for now because it's drying, and you really should let this stuff dry 24 hours. So I may have to come back to this project, but while it's drying, let me just put it somewhere where it's not going to get moved and bumped. And since this is pewter, I am going to kind of push down on it because it'll kind of mold to the stone, you know, a little bit. And if there's anything sticking up that's not touching the stone. But for the most part, the clamps are on there pretty well. Not seeing any space too much. So we should be good to go. Okay, on to the next. So while she's drying, and although we may not get to use it right now, we can still look at our beads and we can decide what kind of situation we got going on with this. So what I'm seeing is the pendant. We'll use this as our pendant. Our pendant is here, and the beads are coming up from the holes and just going around. But honestly, I think maybe there's 2 strands, which gives us 4 strands, because that's kind of how I am feeling about it. I'm feeling 1 whole strand for each side of this blue gold stone. So let's see how many we got. if we can make that happen. Got one random one. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to make that work. So each side will have an entire strand of goldstone. I feel like this one has more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, did I count these? I don't think I did. So actually, I think it goes like that. So each side will have a complete side of goldstone, blue goldstone. And then on each side, I feel like there will then be, the stones will go to the outside, and the inside is going to be like that, I feel. And I feel like on the outside of this blue goldstone, we gotta put, I know I said I wanted it to be all one, but I think we gotta put stars up the top here. Like so. These ones I wanted to focus around because in the card, they're the knowledge going up through the card. You can see right here, goes up. And I wanted to focus on that. So that's why I'm using a significant amount of those. I'm pretty sure that is what I want. And then the question becomes, no, I don't think we need to complicate it. I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's what it's going to have to be. So, then we could we'll probably use these two for earrings, or we could use these two for earrings. Kind of depends on the situation. But yeah, that's how I'm thinking it's going to go down. I am not going to finish this right now. I am going to come back to it. So you will see this again, probably tomorrow. And I will then string it up because this will be dry. I'm in debate. Should I glue a bail to the bottom and have something on the bottom? I don't think that I need that. I think that it's going to be fine. And then the other question is what is kind of stringing is this going to be on? I thought that it would just be on soft flex. And now I feel like I might put a little bit of metal of some kind. I'll have to look around the studio tomorrow and link the two strands together. I think I had some very primitive looking connectors. Do I still have those? Where would those be? But I do have some primitive looking connectors that are silver, which would match this. Actually, I do think they are pewter, and we could go boom, boom, boom to connect it all together. So that would be very interesting. Regardless, this is what I got thus far. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, here we are on day 2. We've moved on into the next day because, you know, sometimes these projects take a long time. But, excuse me, here we are on day 2. So I wanted to mention a couple of things. So first of all, I did get our Isis together. The holes did work out. She did dry up nicely with the E6000 on this labradorite slab, which is super good. And I've added a few things I gathered up today. Oh, if you hear jingling, that's Jake. He's jingling. So I am considering adding these spacers. Just one on each side. Not sure where as we move up the necklace. Also, I have not spaced this necklace out, so I don't know exactly how it's going to lay as far as spacing. So I've also grabbed up some dark blue, like midnight blue crystals, just in case we need to add some spacing. But I also still have some of these unnamed check glass, which we'll also probably put in there if we need to. Other things, I found these 2 Voldemort scarabs, and I thought, oh, those could be cute nestled in with the blue stone. But they are kind of a different color, like a metallic-y color, but on the back they're kind of plain, kind of more like clear. And I don't know how I feel about that just yet, so I have them here just in case. Here are some of those Egyptian eyes that Thunderhorse Descendant is selling. So they're double-sided, and I thought, oh, we might do some charms, or we might do for earrings. Also, I found these in the stash, some scarabs. Again, we could do some hanging stuff, or we could do some earrings. I don't quite think I need to do hanging stuff on this necklace, like as far as charms and stuff go. That's just my mood today. I don't know, but I have it here just in case. And then, of course, we are going to be using the Old Faithful clasp, which if you are looking for a nice clasp, it's really called a ball and socket clasp. I do sell these on my website. So I use them when I'm using heavy stones or, you know, using a lot of stuff because they are really, really good. So with all that being said, let's get this party started, shall we? I'm going to be using the Soft Flex heavy duty beading wire. And my plan here is I have 2 strands of beads. So what I want to do, let me just see if I can move this down a little bit. What I want to do is I want to do this first strand here connected to the actual pendant. The other strand, I wanted to float, not be connected to the pendant, float above the pendant, which means that this bottom strand is going to have heavier beads and is going to be longer than the top one. So if you have a bead board and you like to use the bead board, I have one. I honestly, I don't know how to use it. I've never used a bead board, but I'm sure it really helps with the spacing situation we're about to encounter. But, you know me, I'm just like, let's do this. Let's just do it. Let's just do it, see what happens. So, I'm going to get some Soft Flex. May as well cut both of these so they're the same size since this whole roll is deciding to unravel anyway. So I'm cutting some Soft Flex. I will measure it here in a second. And then you guys, these animals today, they're just something else, let me tell you what. One's just itchy, one's just crying. It's like, okay, well, we're doing it anyway. Where's my froggy tape? Here he is. So let me tell you what I got here. I've got 17 inches, but this is only for one side. So we're probably not going to need that much, but you know, crimping and what have you. So now I'm going to start here in the pendant, and I'm thinking what I might do. I mean, it's not horrible. I'm like, do I want to see this string right here? Are you really going to see that string? It's hard to say. So I am going to be using these larger crimps. I think these are 3s right here. And that's how we are going to start out. So I'm just going to put this on there. And I don't want it to be so tight that it can't move around, because it's got to move. I mean, this is going to be dangling and doing things. It's got to be able to move. So I am going to make it a little bit looser. You guys hear Bunsen crying. It's just like, no, I don't want to be in the basement today. And I'm like, you can go upstairs if you want to. Jeez. Okay, so I'm crimping right here. Got my first crimp done, and I'm going to go to the second crimp. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Pull test is good. And so you can see, I just kind of punched through this, and I got a larger hole in the back, but this front part is going to keep it tight, so I'm not worried about it. And I'm going to give it a little trim. And you know what I think I might do? Let me look. So I was just going to add these rocks. Let me see how they look on there. It might be fine. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I was going to add a spacer. But, you know, I don't think I will. I think it'll be fine. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these. I have 9 goldstone here. I'm going to add those on. And if I wanted to use the scarab, this is where I was going to put it. So let me see how it looks. I don't think that I like it. Simply because it's just a way different color than everything in the necklace. And this is the Star Ancestor card. And it's just really metallic-y. I don't know. So anyways, I'm going to add these 9 on. Okay, and then this is where it's going to get a little curveball-ish. So if I want to use, what did I do with the soft flex? If I want to use this, I got to put it on now, which means I got to start my other side of my, I got to start my inner necklace as well to see about the spacing. So this is actually going to have to be shorter. But I am just going to cut me a piece just to go with right now. I'm not measuring it. And I'm going to start in the middle I'm going to start in the middle for this necklace. Now, like I said, I want it to be shorter and I want it to hang above this pendant. But as you can see, we've got quite a lot here for this. So I am thinking that this right here should be separated out. And now I'm kind of second guessing my design for this. But instead of doing second guessing, I'm just going to add to it. I'm just going to take one of these guys. I don't like that small one in the middle. I'll just do one. I didn't necessarily want to do one because then if I wanted to make earrings, I don't have enough, but it's fine. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to add just one of these blue Chinese crystal on each side. And then I will start with this inside business here. Now I feel like I should put another blue crystal on to make it. Okay, then this one, 2, 3. Okay, so if this is in the middle of my necklace, it looks like I'm going to need to add, so I'm gauging this by this is her head, this is the middle bead here. I'm going to add 1 crystal, actually I'm going to add 3 crystals right here. Ooh. Oh, well, that one doesn't even want to be a necklace. Come on now. 2, 3. Okay, so then if I have that on there the way I think that it should be on there, 3 is too many. I don't want to run the risk of them bumping into each other down here. So 3 is actually too many. I don't like 2 will be fine. Okay. I think 2 will be fine. So actually, let's just do 1. I don't really like 2. It's just, I don't know, it's me, it's a personal thing. So now I'm going to put this into this side right here and this one into this side at the very end, just to separate them. I'm doing it on the farthest one because the beads are, I don't want the beads really to like knock into each other. So let's whip up this side before we go any further, because the length we can worry about later, right? But right now we got to make sure we got this working out. So I'm going again with my other 17-inch piece of soft flex over here down here to get this other edge going. Get my crimp tube. So again, I'm going to leave this a little loose so it can move around. You know, some people get afraid of that moving, but it's got to move. We're moving, we're people, we got gravity, like things got to move. Why does this one feel so crazy? Okay. Okay, so I'm zooming you out so you can see the whole situation. So in theory, this is working out pretty good. But honestly, I feel like we should add one crystal in between here because it's going to give it a little more length. Because this part, the inner necklace is what's going to be closest to your neck. And if we make that too short based on the way that I want to make it, if we make this too short, it's going to like choke you and it's going to be really uncomfortable because we don't want this part when you have it on to be too far down your neck. I mean, really, this necklace is probably only going to be like, you know, like this long. So we got to worry about from here to here. How long is that? We want it to not be really short, like not 16 inches. We want it to be probably at least 18 inches, if not more, because this necklace does not have an extender. It's going to have the ball and socket clasp. So to be safe, we can move this down just a smidge. So I'm going to take these out of here and I'm going to add the two crystals, one crystal right here on each side of the bead. I'll do this side first. So, excuse me. That's the thing that I worry about. I like my necklaces to be comfortable, especially when they're chunky, you know? And that's just a personal preference for myself. I don't really like a really super tight necklace. And then especially if you have, you know, if somebody who purchases this doesn't like that, or they want it to just be a little bit longer because that's just a personal style choice, you know, you don't want it to be only fitting one way. Okay. Okay. Put this back up here. And now, let's see what we got. So I'm holding it like this because I'm getting gravity involved with this necklace. Let's pretend we got our other beads on there. I'm just going to hold it up. Yeah, it's going to be cute the way that's laying. And it's not too short. Like this part here is not too short. I could actually probably do a couple more beads on there if I really wanted to. Decisions. I'm like, do I want to do 2 of these right here? And if I do, what is that going to mean for me? You know what? I think I'm going to do it. So like I said, if you have a beading board and you use a beading board, that's good too. You know, you can get your precise measurements and you don't have to go through this trial and error. But I just personally like to do it this way because I feel like it's just what I'm personally comfortable with. And then it helps me to learn some stuff too, you know, like the functionality of things. And when I'm holding it up, I want to make sure that is going to actually work. And it is, I think. No. See, now what I've learned in this situation is that although that would be fine, it's too big of a space. Like, I'd probably be better off with another crystal, but I'm not going to do that. Because it's hanging too low and it might run the risk of bumping into her head down there. So I don't want to risk that. Okay. All right. So we're doing pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on the top here. And I'm going to move this over here. Because the top piece, I believe, is like this. So it's got this one on this side, and then 4 beads, and this one I'm going to add beads on these crystals as well, or on these check glass, which I didn't originally have in the plan, but because I got them down here, I'm going to do that. And then I had these 3 reserved because this length here, this length has to be the same in order for the necklace to hang correctly. So just getting everything pushed down where it needs to go. And you can see here that it's not. So I'm going to add another bead. Add a crystal and one of these. Let's see what that brings us to. Pretty close. Brings us pretty close with that. And this necklace, this side of the necklace is going to be on the inside. So we also have to account for that. When the necklace hangs like this, it's going to be on the inside. And that's going to be, when it hangs on the inside, it's actually going to be longer than the other one. So I'm going to attempt to leave this one off and put on the other side so I can get the real meal deal here. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you out so you can see what I got thus far. I'm just making sure everything is trying to be where it's supposed to be here. So this is what we got thus far. And I think the inside length, let's measure it. So on this one, we've only got 8 inches, which is 16 inches to the first strand, which I need a little more than that. I remember I said I don't want it to be 16 inches. I want it to be at least 18 inches, which means we got to add about another 2 inches of beading to the inside, which means we'll also have to add 2 inches of beading, probably 2.5 inches of beading to the outside. So to do that, I'm just going to even out these strands here, and I'm going to add probably 1, 2, 3, and a crystal. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, and a crystal. I'm just putting these on there so they don't fall off. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring it down so we can see, because I also have to add 2 inches onto the outside. One, 2, 3. Need another bead. Oh, what if instead of that, we went like this? Okay, I'm gonna pick it up so I can see where we're at. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I'm gonna measure it. So once I get these tightened up, you know, it's gonna be a little more full effect here. And I get them onto the thing, but I just want to measure the inside length. To this one. So we'll say this is about 0. So now this is going to be about 19 inches. So I got 9.5 here. That's 18.5, or 18 and then a half, so 19. So just about 19, which is more so where I want it, which means this bottom one here is going to be about 22 inches, which is perfect. So my design was off a little bit, but I'm pretty confident about it. So now I'm just going to finish it up. All right, guys, so to finish this up, I'm going to take my crimp tube and I'm going to hook onto this oval jump ring. And I'm doing this with a cold connection just because sometimes when I sell jewelry, sometimes people like to have an option to make it a little longer, make it a little, you know, maybe a little bit longer than it is. And so I like to use a jump ring here just to accommodate that. And so I am leaving the beads a little bit of space so that they can move. And that looks good. And I'll just trim this off. So now on this one, I am going to do the same thing. And I'm going to put it into the same jump ring. And get back through there. Okay, then come to the other side, do the same thing. Okay. So once I got all that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an additional jump ring. I'm going to attach it to this oval one. And I'm going to put my ball clasp on, my Old Faithful clasp. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Get the card. The Star Ancestor. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I'll get us some photos and I will get a little video, show you how it hangs, because all of my neck things down here are full of stuff. So I will go upstairs and I will get some photos and I'll show you how it hangs. But I'm very happy with it. I think it turned out really nice. I can flip you over and try it on, I guess. Okay, so I can try it on for you. So here's what she looks like. Very nice. And so I'm just going to undo my clasp here. And so this is what I wanted. I wanted these to be separate so that when you put them on, it kind of gives it a little more function, a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a little more stability for how they lay. And so here we are, making sure everything is the way that it should be. And it looks like it is. You can see this one lines up almost perfectly. So this one is 18 inches, which is where I like it. And then this one is at 22, which is great. So I think it's total score. I'll get you guys some photos so you can see. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please go ahead and leave those in the description box in the comments area. Not in the description box, in the comments area. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We're doing some new videos that are going to be coming out. They're going to be a little more like design on the fly kind of videos because I started going to the bead store on Friday. And I thought it would be kind of fun to just do some design on the fly work. We do a lot of design on the fly on the Facebook channel and on some on YouTube, mostly on like Tuesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. we do a live beading, and a lot of times that's just like a design on the fly, like come hang out in our community. We have a great community. We participate together in the Found Objects Challenge. We have morning coffee together every day. So it's really good. If you guys are into this, like this, or into this kind of thing, don't forget to ring the bell to set up your notifications. Subscribe to my channel. Give it a like. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. I'd love to read them. And I'm going to get this one photographed and put up on the website for sale. And yeah, pretty happy with the whole journey of, well, the journey's not over yet, but my part of the journey with the Star Ancestor is coming to a close. So I think it was a good one. Hope you guys have a wonderful, spectacular, amazing beading day. I send you all the wonderful beady vibes, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye. All right, now where's the E6000? You know, I know I had it over here. I know it was over here. I guess I'll have to go check over on the desk.